all of our desensitizing. It's just a matter of doing everything on both sides of it. With Lucky, that's kind of hard since he likes to play with everything. But if you do it on one side, basically make sure you do it on the other side. I can't dribble as good with my left. Don't hold that against me. Alright, so some of the basic things. First would be the obvious, yielding his hindquarters. And again, I know you know some of this, we just go over everything, and then you'll have it. So for yielding his hindquarters, you're basically bending forward, looking at his hindquarter, and pulling his head just a tiny bit towards you as you do it. So you're pulling, you look, and he is going to turn. And you're looking obviously for him to cross over this leg over in front of the other side. And again, you're just turning, and he will turn with you. And again, the same thing. Hold on. Same thing again. If you do it on one side, do it on the other. So a slight pull in, looking at his butt. And again, you can see, not really touching it. If I need to touch it, because he's not lazy, then I do tap him with it. But for the most part, he crosses over nice. Good. And as soon as I stand up, that's his cue to stop. I stop looking at his butt, I stand up, he stops turning. Now for yielding his forequarters, again, he does this extremely well. You just walk at him and he turns. Whoa. When you stop walking, he should stop. Sometimes I will say, whoa. Really, you don't have to. As soon as you stop, he stops, but you can. Again, you want to kind of position yourself so you're right behind his ear. I put my hand so it's right by his eye. I put my other hand right up next to his withers, and I just walk at him. Now, I always hold my lead rope with my back hand, mostly because I don't want it flopping into his eyesight, and because if I'm holding it up here, he does tend to get it to jingle, and then, as he's doing right now, he thinks that's his cue to back up, which, again, this is his cue to back up, so this makes it easier for him. I do always hold it with my back hand, and then it's not confusing to him. And again, you walk, he turns. Now, if you get too far in front of him, he does get a little less sure of what you're looking for. And if you're back here, again, that's not real easy for him to understand. My position is my belly button right by his ear. Again, if you're too far in front, he tends to back up. So again, you want to position yourself in the right area, and then he will do exactly what you're asking him to do. And again, I will always switch and do everything on the other side. And if he does tend to walk out of it like he just did, then that's usually because I have positioned myself in the wrong spot. So again, I was actually, if you'll see, it's hard to see I'm sure on a video, but I was actually back here with my center line instead of up here. So in that circumstance, that's more me. That's a good example of what will happen if you don't position yourself in the right spot. So again, you just want to put your chest right about his ear level. And he turns. Now, for anything that I'm doing where I'm tossing the rope across, whether I have the lead rope and I'm tossing it, if I have the plastic bag and I'm tossing it, I always position myself right about here on the horse. So right between the head and the withers, and again, facing the butt. So for all of this, again, it's pretty simple. You can do anything that you want to do for the most part that you want to use to desensitize him. So in this circumstance, we're using the stick and string, and I'm just wrapping it around his legs, around his chest, and then over his back, and I'm letting it slide down. And again, when I'm all done, I say, good job. We give kisses. And then I step to the other side. And again, I will repeat the exact same things on the other side. Now, like I said, it doesn't matter if this is a stick and a string, or if it's a bouncing ball, or if it's, like I said, even the plastic bag. If I'm tossing it up and down like this, I usually position myself at this point on the horse, and in the event that he decides to start shying away a little bit, I just try to stay very close to where I'm at. Now, again, he is desensitized to almost everything. I can't think of anything that you're going to have this problem with, but if he decides to not like something that you do, and you have to start out here, it's not the end of the world. Again, you just work closer, but this is Lucky, who has seen almost everything that I can even dream of. So I can't think of anything that this would happen to, and if I could, I would do it so you didn't have to. Now, for lunging, there are two different ways of lunging with Lucky. The first one, and this is going to be hard to explain as we're doing it, when I want him to finish, if he's going around in his circle and I want him to finish, I will actually just step forward like this, look at his butt, and he's going to swing his butt and turn and face me, and that's what I'm looking for. Now, the other way of lunging is for me to have him continuing around, me to switch the hands that I'm holding the lead rope in, switch the stick and string, and then step in front of him. And when I step in front of him, you'll note that he pulls forward, turns facing me, and then continues around in the other direction and continues on. And I will try and point that out as we're going, but it's going to be a little bit harder as we're doing it for you to see what I'm talking about. Now to start, I always start in front. We just hold the hand up, and he starts. And I'm going to hold him close so that we can actually see what we're doing, but it doesn't matter for Lucky if he's farther out or if he's close. And you'll see if I pull my and look at his butt, he will turn and face me. Now the next time I do that, I'm going to try and be facing you and do that same thing. Now if he starts to crowd into me, at this point I will back him up, and again I just shake the lead rope and he backs up to where he's supposed to be. I don't like to have my position crowded. So in the event that he starts to do that, like I said, I just shake him back and he steps back. And again, we're going to go in the same direction just so you can see. Okay. Again, you can see I'm looking at his butt. I'm actually pulling instead of having the lead rope out here. I do tuck it into my stomach and look at his butt, and he turns in. So now, normally when we are lunging, if I've got my stick down like this, that is his cue to walk. And if I bring it up like this, that's his cue to start trotting.